Hey there, you savvy sorcerer, you. Welcome to 7 Minute Sourcing. I am Talangini, and I am going to share with you a few ideas and insights for your curious mind. Today, I'm talking about unconventional sourcing. So, places that you would look for people that you may not normally think of in your daily grind. So, I wanted to start by sharing this little tidbit about Cassidy. So years ago, when I worked for Google as a contract sourcer, I set up a Google alert similar to the one that you see here. Now, this alert retrieved an article that highlighted Cassidy as the first female Latina winner of a hackathon during her senior year in college. Now, though Cassidy was already in our ATS, our CRM, and in LinkedIn, she had not previously responded to our team's messages. Before I could think of a message that would add value, I followed her on Twitter. To my surprise, she immediately followed back and DM'd me. We connected. I invited her to visit the Google campus, and we had a good time. Now, although she did not accept Google's offer, it was, after all, one of 10 offers that she received the year she graduated. We kept in touch on social media. Now, stories like this inspire me to go beyond the four walls of LinkedIn Recruiter, which is where most sourcers and recruiters begin their searches, and consider sources that are a little bit unconventional for inspiration. So let's look at a couple of other ideas. Now, I Googled this term exotic sourcing because I remember Glen Cathey mentioning it years ago. And yes, here it is from 2012. Now, Glen Cathey talks about this heavy focus within the sourcing community and this interest on exotic sourcing, right? Using techniques that are outside of the norm to fill roles. But he makes a great point that often that is not going to be the quickest way to get yourself a fill, right? The quickest way to fill a role is going to be using something tried and true, like your applicant tracking system, your CRM, your referral network, and of course, LinkedIn Recruiter. Now, this is Glen's original post from 2012 on his website, which I love, which you need to be subscribed to, booleanblackbelt.com. But I thought this was really interesting when he talked about exotic sourcing. So I want to touch on a couple of the things that he wrote here in this episode. And then I want to share with you an article that I wrote some years ago called The Beauty of Sourcing. And I want you to kind of let your creative juices run from there. So when you talk about exotic sourcing, let's think outside of Google or even Bing, where you may go as a starter, and think about other search engines like DuckDuckGo or Bleco or even PeakU. Glenn also talks about custom search engines, and that's a really interesting topic too. I don't know if this link is active because Google has actually changed the structure of their custom search engines. But if you're interested in custom search engines, definitely check out Brain Gain Recruiting. That's the name of it, if I'm not mistaken. That's Irina and David. Yeah, they do a lot of work around custom search engines, and I believe they have some free custom search engines that you can check out. Let me just pull those up for you so you can see them here. Yes, the custom search engines are actually not at Brain Gain Recruiting, but they're on a secondary site by the folks at Brain Gain called booleanstrings.com. And you can click right on this link if you're interested in learning more. Let's go back to Glen's article. He also talks about esoteric internet searches, which is pretty cool. I'll let you dig deeper into that. And then he talks about the next big thing, which back in 2012 was Pinterest and Instagram, still relevant places to source. What are some other big thing sites that you can think of? I'm thinking of Discord. That's a new popular community that I'm hearing about online, Discord app. But this is 2020. So by the time that you're watching this, Discord may be a thing of the past. It may be like MySpace, maybe a relic. But it's important to always stay on the cutting edge of what's new. And of course, you still have sites like Snapchat, Facebook, of course, any social site. There's even a new one called Clubhouse in these days of online interaction. And that may even be a place that you go to. So always good to stay in the loop. Now, as my time dwindles down here, I want to move from Glenn's article, which I will hyperlink in the comment section below or in the description box rather. and share with you this article I wrote called The Beauty of Sourcing. And for me, the beauty of sourcing is that sourcing is cerebral. So that means that there is no definitive way to do it. You can interpret it with your own experience, your own knowledge, and your own creativity, and really make it something beautiful. And in this article, which I'll also put down in the description box, I share with you a good number of places that I go to search beyond LinkedIn. And you see a few of them here, right? We have the Google Alerts hack that I just showed you. That's the way I found Cassidy. You can think of Google Images for sourcing, right? You can think about industry landscapes, infographics. I've even seen Shally Starkle use photos and actually Google image search by picture. You can also think about Amazon book reviews, right? I think of a book like Gail's book that used to be pretty popular back in the day. Let's see if it's still on Amazon. It's a book that advised engineers on, yes, cracking the engineering interview, cracking the coding interview, this book here. You have to think about who would have bought that book, who would have reviewed that book and made a comment on it. It's going to be people that are coding, right? So those are your engineers. So start thinking about that as you're sourcing. Now, you may not get name contact information from those comments, but what can you learn from the comments? So many things. You have 3,600 people who are interested in coding who are writing about this book. I mean, wow, the opportunities to just deep dive through this is endless. So think about that when you're sourcing in out of the box places. We're down to our last 30 seconds. So I'm going to pick one more place, and that place is going to be Quora. And I bring this up because a recent text that I got actually on WhatsApp affirmed that Quora is still a relevant place to search for things. So if you're thinking about talent, you can either do a site search of Quora. Let's go on out and do that here. You can do a site x-ray, and you can say, show me the phrase software engineer within Quora. You can start that way. Or you can go to Quora and search by topic. And I don't know that I'm logged into Quora here, so I don't know if I'll be able to do it on this particular video. But Quora is organized by topical area. Yes, so you can see, I am logged in. So you can take it by area of interest that you're following. As you see mine here on the side, I'm following technical recruiting and recruiters, engineering recruiting. If you're recruiting for designers, you should be following those topics that the designers are following. And that's another way you can kind of crack the code in terms of where to find people online. So I hope this has sparked some ideas. If you're thinking of things now that you want to try, drop them in the comment section so we can all benefit from it collectively. And again, check out those 2 resources that I'll put in the description below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next 7 Minute Sourcing. Ciao for now.